You have to find some type of peace, because if not, then you're going to drown.
17 years in prison for someone else's crime. A Kansas City man's freedom only came when his look-alike showed up in prison. Richard Jones is enjoying his first weekend of freedom after 17 years behind bars.
Well, he's always maintained his innocence. When KCK police linked him to a 1999 robbery, eyewitnesses pointed to this mugshot back then, but they couldn't be sure when they were presented these side-by-side images. Now he's being released. He says it's thanks to his faith and the tireless work of wrongful conviction advocates. Richard Jones is free for the first time this century. He spent almost 2 decades behind bars for a crime he says he didn't commit.
I talked with Jones and his father about time in prison, his release, and what's next for the man who says the system failed him.
She said, they let him go, I said, yeah, they let him go. He'll be out first thing in the morning.
Richard Jones' father, Fred, getting the news his boy was finally free.
I didn't even know what he looked like anymore, because he was so young when he went in there. I didn't know what he looked like.
But nearly 20 years ago, a robbery victim and an eyewitness apparently did. No DNA, no fingerprints, no physical evidence, just testimony. Enough to get a conviction and a sentence of 19 years.
I don't think it's something that you wrap your mind around, because it's like, it's surreal. It's hard to believe that you're actually going through that.
Maybe harder to believe these inmate pictures. Take a look. 2 different men with barely a difference in appearance. They even share the same first name. This part of key evidence brought forward by the Midwest Innocence Project, presented to a Johnson County judge who ordered Jones' release.
It doesn't get the type of attention that it should get, because it's purely injustice. And that's not right. We're supposed to be able to depend on our justice system.
With no support from the courts, Jones says he had to find it somewhere.
Belief in God and praying, that's like kept me strong. I had my days, but it was pretty much just praying and having a support system. So that's the only way I got through it.
His support system in full effect this weekend. Dad, brothers, sister, and friends hanging out, basking in freedom.
This actually brought our family closer together, and that's what family does, in times of tragedy and things of that nature. They come together.
I think he's going to take the negative, and turn it into something positive. I think he will.
Everything that happened, there's nothing I can do to change it. I move forward and I look forward to the future and what's going on with me now. And I just feel like this is giving me a platform to speak for people who can't speak for themselves.
According to independent studies, between 2 and 5% of inmates in the United States are innocent. The Midwest Innocence Project says it takes 7 to 10 years to exonerate an innocent prisoner.
Most states